Hello one and all, this is Hybridsteel. Thank you very much for joining me in today's Hydroneer 1.6. This is a simple video. Basically want to run through a couple of things that I wish I knew before I started playing this game. Alright, now in fairness, when I first started playing this game back on 1.2, I want to say it was either 1.2 or 1.1. I can't actually remember. You could go and check one of my oldest Hydroneer videos if you really want. But there are certain things that I wish I'd sort of known when I first started. To put this into perspective, when I first started playing this game, addictiveness sort of kicked in. It was like, I want to make more money. I want to do this and I want to do that. But I found it, when I first started, I found it particularly difficult to get it into my brain of what I should be doing. I took hours and hours and hours and hours of my time basically doing the same thing that, well, a lot of people do when they buy this game, and it's like, hey, if I just mine the top layer, I'll be fine. And yeah, it doesn't work like that. And then when it came to like smelting stuff, it was like, hey, I could do this and I can make it, and I didn't know anything. So I'm hoping that some of the videos I've done are actually helping some of those people out there with the same problems as me, trying to get things through to your skull and sort of actually understanding them. Because for me, understanding people who are too complex basically just confuses me and it goes off the game. So we're going to run through a couple of things that I wish I knew before I started playing Hydroneer. And one of the most common things I actually see, and like really common, strangely like stupidly common, is how to place the furnace. This is a furnace. Okay? To put it into perspective, you pick it up and you wig it around, find a place you want to put it, you wait until it highlights in green, like it is now, and then push the left mouse button and it's on fire and it's amazing. And then what you do is you take your crucible and just drop it, and now your crucible is warm enough to smelt material. There you go. And you do that for everything. If you want to place an anvil, you do exactly the same thing. With gem grinder, you actually do the same thing. Now the reason why I sunk this into the floor is so I could put bars on it, so I could put it on the anvil. Hopefully that helps someone out there. That would be all good. Tip number 2 is definitely dig deep, or you know, you're just going to be hours and hours and hours and hours and hours digging. And I'm going to show you what I mean by digging deep now. So here we go. I'm going to take one pan, stick some water in it, and I'm going to basically grab this shovel over here and I'm going to take this bit of dirt. Okay, let me get my brush, and that's not very big, is it? Now if I just go and get my other pan, and I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to take my spade and we'll go in the hole. Now this is only the starter lot, so the loot actually isn't that big in comparison to later on, but always dig from the bottom because, well, things are just bigger. All good. Tip number whatever I'm up to. I've lost count. I'm just going to keep calling them tips and be done. This is the cart. The cart is brand new to Hydroneer as of 1.6. We got it basically because loads and loads of people kept talking about it. And when Max did 0.8.0, which was sort of like the earliest rendition of Hydroneer that Max had as a save, people saw the cart and wanted it back in the game. So there's the cart. Now, a handy thing you can use right at the beginning of this game is you can just load her up, right? So let's grab a pipe, and you put the pipe on the cart, and we'll take a bed, and we'll put the bed on the cart. Okay, and there we go. There's the bed on the cart. We'll take a grinder wheel, and we'll put it on the cart. Okay, and because we're over the cell section, we can now just push this button, get back on the cart, maneuver our way out of the shop, and there we go, carrying all the items without having to go backwards and forwards. And this works later on as well. So if you're at somewhere like South Hope, which isn't a massively, it's not massively long distance, you could do the exact same thing. You can just move things around and be happy. Or you can do this, and you can put the car on the back of the truck. Yes. And there you go. So you can actually take your truck, you can take your cart wherever you want. You can stack the cart to a point, and then it does have issues, but you know, find your limit, be happy. But you can put the cart on the back of the truck and then drive your truck to wherever your plot is. There you go. That's how you get around in the truck and the cart. Next. Now the next part isn't actually a tip of the game, it's more my own personal thing. And the reason why I'm saying this one is because, well, there are a lot of people out there who want to rush themselves through this game. They want to basically go, hey, I've got this and I've got that, and rushing this game doesn't get you anywhere unless you just want to become a millionaire and sort of spoil it for yourself. There is a sort of sequence in this game you have to go through in order to, you know, make the most money or get the best stuff. You have to learn these ways. I mean, thankfully, there's someone like myself or other YouTubers who have made guides about this game. But in order to learn all that, we had to sit here as well and do exactly the same. We took our time to learn this, much like you should do as well. So the next tip, spend money wisely. So when I built this machine in front of you, and you know, I mean, okay, I just showed you how to put stuff on the back of a cart, which means I spent money on a cart and I didn't, well, on the stuff and I didn't really need to. But when I'm saying spend your money wisely, sort of work out what you're going to need before you spend your money. At the beginning of the game, this is crucial. To put it into perspective, when you first start this game, money is very, very limited because you're digging on higher ground, so you're not getting as much money. You have to work out what you're going to need. Now, thankfully, again, there are people like me who have made guides to tell you what you can buy at the beginning of the game to make your life a little bit easier. That's all good. But it's nice to know how much things are worth. So what I'm going to do is in the description box below, there's a link to bridgeport.com. From there, you can actually go into their like store item thing, and you can look through every single item in this game. You can see how much it costs, and you can put it into your own custom list where you can actually make a build, obviously if you know how many parts there are, and how much it costs, so you can spend your money wisely. To put it into perspective, when I built this one, I knew that it was going to cost me about 10-15 grand. But I had to take that evolution to actually build it, to actually make it. And there you go. That's, 15 grand well spent, because this thing just makes money. It's all good. Right, next tip. Filters before pressure tanks. I cannot stress this enough. I'm a little bit OCD. Hence why my builds always look pretty much the same. They're built the same sort of way. It's because it works. I know it works, and if it's out of place, my brain does one of those sort of like fart things, and I don't like it. But filters before pressure tanks, people. The reason why you do this is because you want to take all the negativity out of your pressure system before you get to your positivity. So, like with this one, we've got a intake pipe, which is 50% water pressure. -1, 49. -2 for every filter. We're down to -10 here. We're down to 39% worth of pressure. Now, if you put that in the back of that ram drill, that's going to be a pain. It's going to run really slowly. You're going to be sitting there just going, why isn't it working faster? If you listen to this, you'll be all good. So, 39%, add 25. 64% pressure here, okay? Add 25 equals 89. 89 pressure right here. -1 because it's a pipe. So we're down to 88% worth of pressure. Add 25 or above 100%. That round drill is going to be running as fast as it possibly can because it's 100%. Now, this is the bit where it gets a little bit funny. So 89, so this is 88, 87, 86, 85, 84, 83, 82, 81, 80, 79, 78, 77, 76, boom, 25%. That harvester is running at 101%, which means it can't be done, so it's at 100%. So this is an optimized pressure build. And the reason why we did that is because we put our pressure tanks after our filters. We took the negativity and changed it for positivity. Our build runs at 100%. That's much better than running at 35%. All right, cool. Next tip, grinding dirt for more money. Pretty simple. Now, I've covered this a couple of times in videos. I've done videos on this at all. There's even a box coming up in the top right hand corner now. That is my video on why grinders make more money. Basically, what you're doing is you're taking one piece of dirt from here and sticking it through 3 grinders. If you take that one piece of dirt and just put it straight into a harvester, this build will make you 1,200 credits. Well, 1,200 Hydra coin every 5 minutes. All right, and that's all right. If you've got like 10 drills, you're making, like 14 grand. Kudos to you. Adding grinders to your build, these 3, and this will basically knock it. Actually, I can even just show you. Let me just turn the pressure on. Okay, did you see what happened there? So what we did here is we took our one piece of dirt from the round drill, and if that had gone straight into a harvester, it makes 4 bits of ore. Not badly weighted, but not brilliant, okay? Then what we've done is we've basically taken that one piece of dirt and split it in half in through this grinder, and that basically means we're going to get double the profit. We're getting it, well, you think you'd get double, wouldn't you? You only get 2 pieces of dirt out of that. Now, if you do it again, you get 4 pieces of dirt out of it. And because of the decimal system in this game, if you put it through the 3rd one, you get 7 pieces of dirt and not 8 of this, which means this machine is now working 6 times better than it was when it was just 1 piece of dirt. But there you go. Next tip. So this next tip is a sort of recap on use your money wisely. I want you guys to plan your builds more. The reason why I'm saying this is because I did an entire series called Pimp My Plot. If you haven't seen any of those videos, they're on the channel. You go watch them if you really want. Basically, I take a user of the community's get build that he or she is having trouble with, and I basically ransack it, go through the whole lot and sort it out. These people, well, some of them had a rough plan, never really knew how to execute it, or they just tried too much and it just didn't work properly. You know, we had massive clumps of dirt, you know, problems with conveyor belts, things falling through things. Basically, some of them were a bit of a crap show. I can't say the S word because that would go into vulgar content, but it's all good. So what I would say is plan your builds properly. And if you look at mine, I build this all the time. But normally I put like splitters between here, but with this I was just trying to show people how to make money. So, and I was doing it on a budget. But what I would suggest for people is to plan out what you're going to do. The reason why is just because if you don't plan it, you haven't got a plan. So when you start the game and you're earning money and you're trying to get up to this sort of thing, and you want to go to like Mildew or Direct Quarry, or you want to go to South Hope, have a plan of the build. If you're going to stay at Ember, which is where I am at the moment, there is no point in buying a Goliath build at all. Don't even consider buying a Goliath drill. The ground here is pants in comparison to other places, and it's not really worth the money. But if you went over to Mildew, which is the cheapest plot in the game, it is the deepest plot in the game. You could do a Goliath build there quite happily and make a shed ton of cash. It will make you the most money in the game on any plot, but because the ground at the bottom is slightly more narrow than somewhere like South Hope, you're quite limited of what you can and cannot do. Well, I say narrow, I mean you can still make a bloody good amount of money there, but if you go to South Hope and blow the whole thing up, it's like opening up 2 football pitches worth of ground at base level. You can go big, just beware of lag. So this next tip I would say that is quite important. Okay, so this goes for all the people who are in a rush. Unfortunately, take your time for 30 seconds and do this. If not, you'll get lots and lots of problems. This next tip is turn off your plant before you save the game or exit the game. The reason why is because when you actually go to like leave this game and you leave your build running, now that's not too bad. But what will happen when you load your game? Everything's going to go flying. You'll have bits of dirt, bits of ores, bits of everything just flying through the sky. And the reason why is because it's the instant like lag spike and it just goes click and everything sort of pops. Okay, so personally, if you're going to leave the game, just turn off your ram drills, make sure your belts are clean, and then turn it off. I don't even care if you leave the belts running before you turn it off, because that's okay. But if you've got stuff on your belts and you like the word yeet, you're going to be saying that quite a lot as they're flying through the air. All right, it's all good. Okay, so a digging tip. So I just made a video to how to basically like build this from automation start to finish. Okay, and one person, I'm not going to name a name, but if that person does watch this video, I already knew what you were going to say when you said it, and it was like, right, okay, yeah, I knew someone was going to say something. Basically, I said that when you first start this game, basically take a bucket, put it in here, and then wash it through, like I did earlier on in the tips video. Also, the other reason why I was telling people to dig with a bucket and a spade at the beginning, so you dig straight down, you get to the bottom layers of dirt faster by digging with a spade straight down because you earn more money. But I'm just about to show you how you should be panning for gold and jewels in this game. Now, there is a cheatier way of doing it. What you can do is you can just leave the pan in the water, and then you can take your shovel, and then you can come over here and you can put the pan straight, you can put the dirt straight into the pan, and you can and it's amazing. So you've always got a water supply. Now I know this, and the reason why I show people like the beginning part where you're digging dirt is because right at the beginning you're going to want to sort of learn how to play the game. These are sort of like things that you would do later on, just to basically show that you can do this a little bit differently with a little bit of a slightly better way. What you do is you put your pan, lay flat on the floor next to this rock, maybe a little bit closer, okay? And the reason why you do this is because what you want to do is you want to bring your brush over here, stick that there, grab your spade. Now, you've got your pan there, which you can highlight, and you've got your dirt there, okay? And now, I don't even have to move. Alright? So, there are other ways of doing stuff. Now, if you do find yourself not being able to get to the dirt, move yourself a tiny bit closer. Grab a piece of dirt. As long as you can still highlight that bucket from wherever you're standing, it's all good. And then from there, you can just take your ores, take it to the jewelers, and it's all good. So for all those people going, oh, say, look, I'm a smart ass, I can sit there and yeah, what you do, mate, you should put your bucket in the water. You just take the dirt to there. The way I just showed you, you don't even have to use a bucket. Okay, and I don't know if there's anything else that you guys think that I've missed. Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love it if you've got any tips and stuff that you want to sort of like pass on to other people. Now is your chance. Down in the comment section below, anything that you think someone can benefit from, put it down there. I won't use it in a video. I absolutely promised it. There is a couple of other little bonus things here, so we're going to run through these real quick. Number one, always buy a bed. Right at the beginning of the game, and you haven't got a light apart from this poxy little lantern that doesn't really light up a lot when you're underground, and it does get a little bit gloomy down here. Definitely get a bed. The reason why is you skip the night cycle. Night cycle is a little bit dark, and in fairness, you can turn the gamma up on your game by going into your option screen, which is here, and then you go to settings, graphics, this bit here where you can turn the gamma up and down. Absolutely fantastic thing there. If you are having trouble with lag and bits and pieces, now what you can do is if you these are normally ticked when you first get in here. So if you untick these and then save your game, let's say you're having a real lag problem, you're not sure where the problem is, uncheck the save dirt chunks and save raw resources. You will lose everything that to do with resources and ores, but it will stop your game from lagging because you've probably got a blockage somewhere. Then the best thing to do is to quickly run through your entire build and go, it's just that piece there, that's what I had to do. Fantastic. Right, cool. Next thing, when you want to stop your build halfway through, or you actually just want to turn the water off because the splashing noise is really annoying, click this valve here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this on a fast line. So that line is running and it's making that horrible squishy noise. Oh no, yeah, see, listen. Can you see it? Yep. Now, click the red valve. It stops the water. It's all good. The next quick tip is I tend to use a funnel on harvesters. The reason why is because I don't want to keep losing ore. I don't want to keep losing bits of dirt. Bits of dirt suck when they sort of like fall off and they get stuck, and it does cause a problem over time. And if you're grinding down dirt into very small marbles, having a funnel is perfect because it actually directs 99.99% of the dirt straight into the harvester. Whereas if you're using bigger chunks, you don't need one. It's just nice to have it there. Next part is to quickly run over to the shop. This little shop here will save your bacon if you're doing basic builds. You've got all your piping and all the bits and pieces. Apart from power chambers, you do have to go to Bridgeport for, but most of this is basically tier 1, tier 2 and the start of tier 3 automation, so that's all good. Using blocks and everything else is good for keeping things in an order, and the reason why I say this is because if you want to place a piece of dirt properly, what you do is you stand on your pipework and under a round drill you aim for the center of the build and it's all good, and then you're fine. Next is the hidden shop, as I call it. Not a lot of people ever come down this way for down to the Bastion Keep, or I call it Bastion Keep. I'm pretty sure that's what this is called. So you come down to this exchange, which is you turn left at the cave, and then you come down here. You can sell fish, gems, and you can sell just normal stocks of brick, gold and iron, which is okay. Actually, one of the best places if you are going into that whole fishing thing. Gonna be honest, not a big fan of the fishing thing. It's a little bit worse than digging, but this pond's ideal because it's right next to here. You just stick a bucket in front of yourself and go from there. Actually, we could show you that. So yeah, you could just sell your fish here. Another reason why this is a good place is because you can pick up repair kits, spanners and filters. So if you're building down here, it's all right. Next, a little Easter egg for you if you come around the corner and you guys have never heard of him. Raptor is on the yeah, he's the Viking. It's all good. But yeah, he's part of the sort of like the game's interior. There are 4 YouTubers in this game mentioned. There is Raptor, Dre, Diesel Designs, and Blitz. Now, if you can find them all, it's all good. I know where they all are. I'll let you try and find the other 3. Next is the actual exchanges at the top of the hill. So because obviously you've got a jewelers up here, one of the best places I find to actually get my averages. That's one of the best places I go to. And then if you come into the castle, you've got an exchange here where you can basically buy and sell stuff. Now the exchanges work in a way, actually yeah, there's also a set of scales here you can test your stuff as well. So with this, basically works on, if you were to sell like, let's say I was to sell like 4 daggers to this stock exchange, then the number for the stock exchange should, and I say should, it should go down. And then all the others start going up because they're not being supplied by you, the person who's making all these things. And then you basically just do that. You just keep it going up and up and up. It was all right. Sometimes, just sometimes, the jeweler will give you a better price than the exchange. So if you do like running around and looking for prices and you're looking for a proper bargain, that's your best bet. Go to the jeweler first, then check out the exchange market as well. Now, if you come to the cave, this is another quick tip. Actually, all of these are quick tips. Come into the cave. There are 6 relics on this game. There are two in one place, 2 in another, and then 1 on each other plot. I'm not going to tell you where they are. There's actually a guide for that in bridgeport.com, but you only need 4 of them to open up the secret cave. If you guys don't know about the secret cave, seriously, where have you been for the last year? Plots. Let's go through the plots quickly. This is Mildew. Now, Mildew Pond, or Aquifer, sorry. I call it Mildew Pond because by the time you get down to the water, it's literally a pond. Right at the bottom of here, there is a big pond at the bottom. There's no water anywhere else. So if you were just to dig straight down with the bedrock, you'll get to water. You can build one of the best Goliath builds down there because you can put your Davids now sideways. Basically just means that you don't have to mess around with like losing that half a centimetre's worth of angle, and then from there you would just be able to make more money. Gonna be honest, I'm still looking for me. I'm not in this game. I just keep hoping that Max one day will add me into this game. Okay, so Direct Quarry. Since Max basically opened up this land a bit more, because this used to have like a really horrible drop where it would put me off for going in here. Now, he did level out the ground after many requests, and now you can drive straight into Direct Quarry, which now does make it a nice place to actually go and build stuff. So if you do fancy a slightly bigger lot, but you don't want to spend like $6,000 on it, Direct Quarry. I am actually looking at Direct Quarry as like a potential for where I want to build later on, but I'm not sure when. I'll probably just try it for a speed run just to see if I can get like another like drill bill. This is my home away from home, South Hope. The reason why is because it is the biggest plot in the game. Water sources is plentiful. It's all that ocean out the back, and it's quite deep as well. You can really fill it up quite a lot. And I think when it comes down to tips and stuff, it's mainly just everything I've gone through already. Just when it does come to this game, just keep an eye on the devlogs. You can check out Hydroneer on YouTube through the Foulball Hangover YouTube channel. But it's always good to keep up to date with him because Max he's always changing things. And the reason why is because sometimes it comes down to community input, and it's all good to hear from the community to make your game better. Always good to have input from people, and it's just nice that he actually gives back to the community by actually putting things in that people ask for. Then it comes down to sort of like he keeps you updated. I've played many games in my life where you buy a game, you get a couple of updates, and then the developer just goes quiet and they're working on they're working on something else. Max has been, even though some of the updates have been like, very tiny, they're like optimization updates, that sort of thing, he's done a very good job keeping the community involved and keeping the community up to date with everything he's doing. The only thing that gets a little bit annoying is like when he says, oh yeah, we're going to do this massive update, and he doesn't do anything for like a month, and you're like, when's the update? Well, I did say it was like a month's time. It's like, no, I want to know now. That's one of his only like personality flaws. He's very good at teasing people if you like his product, which is Hydroneer. If you like this game, it's all good. But if you want to keep up to date with the news, you have to suffer with the fact you have to wait for it as well. And that's why I'm waiting for the 5th of February. So if you guys are watching this and it's before the 5th of February, don't forget to check your calendars just down here. If you check your calendars and you're watching this before the 5th of February, get over to Foulball Hangover's YouTube channel and sit and wait. On the 5th of February, apparently we're going to have a massive update. I have no idea what's going on. Since I am not a community helper in the Discord anymore, I don't get any of the feedback of what's going to happen. I'm in the dark as much as you, and well, since the sun's going down, I'm really in the dark. So guys, I hope you have taken this as like things that you now know before you start Hydroneer. I'm going to be honest, I rattled off quite a lot, and I know I did, but it's a lot of things that needed to go through. And in all fairness, I hope it does help, because that's sort of... Oh, crap, I just fell in a hole. But basically, the reason why I'm making this video is because I see a lot of people with the same sort of problems, and some of the problems are quite easy to fix, and some of them are quite easy to sort of get around, obviously once you knew they were there. So I hope I've basically enlightened you to some of the things that you should be looking at in this game slightly differently. just to make the game a little bit better for you. So thank you very much for joining me. This has been Hybridsteel. If you have liked this video, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe and notification button below for all other updates. I'll be back here with a brand new video at some other point in the future, or a live stream, or whatever else I do over here. If you want to become a member now, so there is a little join button about here. That basically just means you pay this channel a couple of pounds a month, depending on how generous you are, and that goes towards buying new games, keeping the PC going, and trying to buy new games to make better content for you, the viewer. Now, I know I've been on Hydroneer for a really long time, and at some point I will move over to another game. I'm just trying to find that next thing to keep me going as well. Love to hear your feedback about certain things that could be going on in the gaming world, and don't forget we have got a Steam festival coming up soon on Steam, and there's like 500 demos going live there. So if there's anything over there that interests me, I'll probably share it over here with you just to see what you think of those little choices as well. So thank you very much. I'll see you all later. Peace out. Have fun and enjoy everything you guys do. Bye-bye for now.